Still going live. Oh, no, we're on the air. Okay. Hello, welcome back to the RSG Podcast. This is the second episode of our epic second season. We'll just start over. No, we won't. Laughing is Connor.
You're good at
is
speaks,
also,
man.
I'm
Good
the
at
best.
speaks.
Man. That's how it is. Mr. Watson. And I'm Ryan Easton.
Welcome.
Welcome, yeah. Let's see, we're going to talk about a few things today. And kind of tease on a couple things. We're going to tease on Facebook purchasing Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
Which,
what does that mean? What does that mean for VR gaming?
I think we all know what that's going to do to VR gaming. Or Facebook. It's going to have, was it Candy Crush Saga? With the Oculus Rift.
You can move your hands.
Yeah, Clash of Clans would be on there.
Oh, man. Yeah, Facebook's bought them out a while ago, but Facebook's got money. They got cash money. So,
They do have cash money.
They'll be able to support it assuming they do anything with it. But it's not going to be this, I guess, this envisioned idea of like fully immersive like FPS games and whatnot. It's just going to end up being like I said, Candy Crush Saga and these sort of like
you think so? I think they won't go like big time with it. I think there's like almost no chance they don't go big time with it.
They should.
It would be stupid of them to try and keep it just to like Facebook level games.
Well, here's the thing: if they decide to go big time with it, which is possible, I mean, it's way more power than what Facebook needs for their Facebook games, right? So if they decide to go big time with it, are they looking to get into the market here? I mean,
we say Facebook games, but they're just games that are played on Facebook. Most of them are Zynga games, really. I mean, they're not really owned by Facebook. They're just hosted on Facebook, essentially.
That's true.
So, like, as far as like Candy Crush Saga, stuff like that goes.
But I guess the question is then, I mean, is Facebook looking to get into the gaming market with something bigger, something more meaningful?
Facebook is looking to get into the money. We make money market.
Well, I mean, if big AAA...
But this is a lot of development for them, so it's a large investment. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Big name titles.
3D TVs still haven't really caught on.
Probably won't.
Now, VR gaming would be a little bit different because you have you buy the set to wear basically, and you look like a tard in your own room, but no one cares because no one else could really see you. You know what I mean? And the people in Japan won't care; they'll do it at cafes.
Oh yeah. I'm sure we'll see tons of photos from different various.
Well, I think
of like 30 different people, all with little headsets on, little Oculus Rift headsets on, can't see each other, whatever.
I personally feel like VR gaming, Oculus Rift, because here's the thing. Oculus Rift came, I'm not going to say first because that's just false, but I'm going to say they were the biggest name for a while when it came to VR gaming, but a lot of like other companies are starting to do it. Sony has their own headset in production.
It's true.
Coming out for the next, the PS4 and whatnot. But the thing is the way I see the future of gaming is a more interactive, but not with the games, but with other people live. Like Twitch, for instance. And so this is an interesting, like, I'm not sure if this is really going to catch. I really don't know. I really don't think it will, honestly. It's an expensive peripheral.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that really it's not great. It's not a great thing when it comes to the multiplayer games, I don't think. It has a lot of issues with a lot of people not being able to just stomach it for a while because it does give a lot of people motion sickness.
Right, well, because your body's not used to interpreting feedback of that nature.
Well, feedback without the movement.
Right.
Like, feeling like you're moving but not actually moving.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if like you can get to the point where they actually add some real motion to it, like additional virtual reality to it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the sweet Nintendo Power Glove.
Oh, jeez.
Everyone wearing two sweet Nintendo Power Gloves.
Do you guys remember the movies back in the day when the Nintendo Power Glove was kind of a fashion statement? Some of the more like teen-centered 80s. Well, you didn't watch 80s movies.
Bro, I watched some 80s movies. Okay.
Okay.
It's not the bad ones like Aliens or Predator.
Oh my god.
Oh, my God. Making enemies.
Whatever.
Shots fired.
Right,
Yeah, shots fired. Okay.
Never seen them, but he hates them. I love it.
I don't see because they're bad.
Oh my god.
I don't see bad movies. I was not
No.
trying to see bad movies,
I
but
don't even know.
See, the problem, though, Robbie, is that with adding more things to simulate more movement, which they've already done. Some companies have already done. There's a Kickstarter out, or was out. I think it's already closed, long closed now.
live status on Facebook?
Ooh,
We've got to worry about these
see
things.
the live status on YouTube.
I know. So what?
So, anyways, back on topic. One of the peripherals that they've created is
Peripherals. Say why? Oh my god.
okay, peripherals.
Come on, lift guy.
that they've created is where you can like simulate running. It's a whole thing that like has a harness that holds you up, and you can kind of run on it. And but the thing is now you're just getting more and more expensive. It's only going to be the most hardcore of gamers sort of toy. This is not something you're going to see regularly. So
I agree.
I don't think it's going to catch on.
Well, but at some time, personal computers were that expensive, so
Destiny will give a fuck.
it's pretty soon. I mean, at some point, personal computers too light. At some point, it'll get cheap enough that we can do so. You know what I mean? But will it catch on enough by then?
No,
I don't
think
know.
so. I don't think it will. I mean, the headset itself might stay cheap enough, or might get cheap enough, but everything else to really like fully immerse yourself in it, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna catch on.
I've played the Occulus a few times. A buddy of mine has the dev kit one, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I had fun with it, but there's a few things that, like, there was a horror game that I played, and I mean, obviously at that point, games were just created. I mean, they weren't like funded or nothing like that. But it was kind of interesting to have that whole Silent Hill type aspect in it, but yet it was really hard to make sure I was going the right direction. So I'd like to see it flushed out, unfortunately.
Well, the thing
Maybe
the Oculus
Facebook has the money to do that. So.
Well, yeah, as I say, the thing that the Oculus Rift suffered from the most was that it wasn't high def.
Yeah.
And that was like its biggest issue. It wasn't a high def set. It was 720p, I think, which, honestly, with that much immersion, at 720p, it looks kind of like crap, honestly. Almost anything you play doesn't look that great.
Yeah.
Right.
Because when you're that immersed in it, it
Once
looks
you go
really
back
good.
and tell 92 you that 720p is just not good enough.
The first world problems, I understand.
This 720p is not good enough, guys.
But
It's not high def enough. It's not real enough.
But we don't know. I mean, honestly, we don't know a whole lot on the subject yet. So we're gonna have to do some more research into it, so we can really like come back with some better predictions for the future on Oculus Rift. And really, the future of VR gaming and as a whole.
I don't see it getting big. I really don't. Not until you can get like immersed enough that you're completely immersed, like 100% immersed. You know. I mean, it's something that science fiction is all about. Like, when we get holodecks, yes, it'll catch on.
Oh yeah, holodecks will catch on. But this is just a poor man's holodeck is really what it comes down. And I say poor man, but it's a very expensive.
Right.
So it's just, I don't think it's going to catch on because no one's going to want to spend. I shouldn't say no one. Few people are going to want to spend that much money.
Right. And if they can't sell enough titles for it,
Right.
then nobody's going to make titles for
No
it.
one's going to develop for it.
The same thing happened to Apple. Apple's are perfectly good computers. You don't hear me say that very often, but they were too expensive. Nobody wanted to buy them, so nobody made software for them. So now nobody buys them, except for hipsters like Ryan.
Of course.
But
I'm just kidding, Ryan. You're a hipster, but you're not an Apple hipster.
I'd rather be an Apple hipster than just a regular hipster.
well, the struggle is real.
You're wearing your fedora everywhere, bro.
We're not upgrade to a Fez.
Oh jeez. Speaking of Fez, this kind of gets us on the topic of the Quincident.
The Quincident, yes.
Quincident.
And the reason why, speaking of which, the reason why the Fez reminds me of that is because happens to be the title of a game that was created by
Phil Fish.
Phil Fish, who
Right, Phil Fish.
yeah, Phil Fish, who is a
Idiot?
Douche nozzle.
douche nozzle.
Douche
As
nozzle
a
is the
person,
correct terminology.
personally and professionally, he's a douche nozzle. So, but I kind of want to talk about this because this thing is
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, and it's gotten so bad. We might be a little late to the party because it's got to the point where Reddit won't even allow
Discussion.
discussion.
Both of them, 4chan and Reddit, I believe, right?
Yeah, because it's just become such a vitriol like topic.
The fact that 4chan won't let you discuss it ought to be proof enough that 4chan's not really that involved.
Yeah. Never mind the accusations. That
Because they would celebrate that shit.
Oh, yeah.
If they were responsible for it, they would be celebrating it.
For the incident that he's talking about, the guy who created this fish guy claimed that 4chan crew hacked his.
Well, let's go back and start at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
This started, I don't even know for sure what the day was, but a couple weeks ago. It's all been going on in the month of August, essentially. This Zoe Quinn lady, and I first heard about it when a friend of mine linked me an article about how her Depression Quest game had been assaulted on some site somewhere, some Kickstarter site of some sort, or some GoFundMe, or something like that.
Indie games?
Indiegogo, or something like that. I don't
that's
know.
what it is.
I don't know for sure which
Indiegogo.
one it was. It was
Yeah.
one of those places where they just steal your money. And because I have my own opinions about Kickstarter and all that in general, but we won't go into that at this point. So she claimed that her game had gotten hacked and DDoS attacked and all this, and that it was these certain people who had done it. Well, and that they had planned it out and everything like that, but if you go to their boards, there's no such...
Certain people being 4chan.
Well, certain people being... She blamed 4chan, but it was actually a site called WizardChan.
Okay.
And if you go to the boards and look, there's only one post where someone said something in reality pretty ignorant about how she doesn't know what real depression is like. She would never hang out with one of us losers, blah, blah, blah. So she doesn't know what real depression is like. Her game is stupid. She's stupid, blah, blah, whatever.
Typical internet.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You hear that on the internet all the time. She doesn't know my pain. First world problems. So they started off with this, and that was the only post about it. There was no, like, let's organize and tag Zoe's game because she's stupid or whatever. None of that. She claimed her game was attacked. It got a lot of buzz. And everyone was like, look, misogyny on the internet, misogyny on the internet. There's misogyny on the internet. I'm not arguing that point. But this is not a case of that.
Right.
This is a case of one guy saying stupid shit on the internet, and it happens to be about a woman. Well, that blew up. And then shortly after that, her ex-boyfriend released a blog claiming that she had slept with some guys who were game reviewers to get good reviews for her game. Now, that happened to happen while they were still in a relationship, but maybe on a break. I don't know. I sent you guys a link earlier that links to his posts,
Right.
and he started to backpedal some.
Nathan Grayson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He started to backpedal some since then. And she admits to sleeping with the guys, and I personally don't care. If she wants to sleep
Well, here's the key. She did sleep with somebody at Kotaku, a reviewer, who A, never reviewed her game.
Right.
And B, only made passing comments about it in articles in Kotaku.
Right.
On Kotaku. So it doesn't matter.
Right. It doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter.
No, absolutely not.
And in the end, all gaming review sites, for the most part, are shills anyway.
Yeah.
So why do we even care if she did?
Yeah.
It's no different than somebody else promising other favors.
Right. It really isn't. It really isn't. It's to make it in the game reviewing world nowadays. Yeah, you got to be in bed with the producers of the video games, because if you don't, you don't get. With all the leaks and the hands-on beta reviews and everything that are happening nowadays, especially with PC games, but in general, honestly, the only way you're going to get any kind of I guess breaking news on video games is to be in bed with these guys,
right?
And to promise good reviews.
Yeah, because if you don't promise good reviews, they're not going to want you around.
Right.
Because nobody's interested in a true review of their game. They just want you to hype it up.
Right. It's a hype train. That's what reviews are now. It's just jump on the hype train.
Right.
Which is
why I say all games these days, and almost without fail, almost all games are overpromised, overhyped, underdelivered.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Definitely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Overpromised, underdelivered. Every big title that's come out for Xbox One, overpromised, underdelivered. Destiny, overpromised, underdelivered.
I read a statistic.
Overpromised, underdelivered.
I read a statistic that I think it was 50% of video game budgets are spent on advertising a lot of times.
I believe it.
Right.
50%. That is a ridiculous amount.
That's money they could be spending to put in the actual things they told you they were going to put in but aren't in.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. And there's a lot of games that have just been, because they were over-promising, have fallen flat.
Right.
But that's beside the point. That's a little off topic.
I played Fable for starting it all.
Me too, actually. Me too.
I was Peter Molyneux is the king of over-promising and underdelivering.
He's like, I've been doing this since it wasn't cool.
The original.
The hipsters over-promising.
It's getting a little off topic. The point was that, supposedly she had slept with somebody to get a good review. Fact is, she never got a review from this guy. He never reviewed her game. He only mentioned her in passing. She admits openly to having slept with him.
Which is her business?
Right, it's her business.
It's not mine, I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
So, this goes into Phil Fish, who...
Right, well, she got her site hacked, supposedly.
Right.
There's some suspicion from people online that she self-doxed.
Right.
And doxing is when you release your personal information on the internet, or someone else does it to you normally.
Right.
Because normally you don't go about releasing your own personal information because
it's mostly what
you can't trust people on the internet. Yeah. So it's like personal information, like your phone number, your address, stuff like that you generally don't want everyone else on the internet to see. So she got hacked, and then Phil Fish stepped in on Twitter and white knighted it. He's like, you guys are making fun of Zoe, it's bullshit, blah, 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 you're all cowards, all this. And, you can read all that on Twitter if you want. But after he stepped in and said that, the day after, his site supposedly got hacked. His Polytron site for his gaming...
He was doxxed.
Right, and he was doxxed. And somebody downloaded, a terabyte and a half? Or
a couple, yeah.
It was a large file.
Yeah.
And downloaded it from his website, and they left a message on the website about how it was the head moderator of /V on 4chan, and all this stuff. But the people on /V on 4chan don't know anything about it. And these guys, if they did it, they would claim it.
Yeah,
well, first of all,
they would celebrate it.
There is no head moderator for /V.
Not that I know of.
There isn't.
Yeah. So why would they claim that?
There are a bunch of moderators. There's no head moderator.
Right.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah. So there's a suspicion that Phil doxed himself to seem like a victim to keep the buzz going.
Well, and it's that suspicion is given even more credence because the site that they hacked to dox
that's
him
what I was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Cloudflare.
Was Cloudflare. Super secure.
Don't they have you said they had the record for the largest cyber attack that repelled or something like that?
Yeah. So, and they have a dual authentication system.
Right.
So, after he logged in, they'd have to have access to his phone and his IP server to log in. Because if it comes from a different IP server, they're not going to let you log in without also seeing your phone or whatever. There's no way that somebody on /V had that information. Right. I don't think
had access to his phone.
Right.
His personal phone.
His personal cell phone.
And his IP address.
He was in his garage, hey, what's up? Don't worry about it. It's cool. We'll
Right.
be out of here in a minute. Yeah. Not to mention the amount of information you said was over a couple or it was over a terabyte at least.
Right, that's what.
And then it was pasted 5 minutes after the initial post.
Yeah, well, it was too short a time. I don't remember if it was 5 minutes exactly for sure. But there was a post on /V that brought it to the people's attention on 4chan, and the post came up 5 minutes before that other post came out on /V. The website was hacked with a full upload of all that information to the paste bin or whatever it is I think it's paste bin. But it wouldn't have been able to upload the full upload in the amount of time between the paste bin file being created and the post appearing on 4chan.
Right.
Which makes people think that Phil posted it on 4chan too.
Right. So,
did he? I don't know. There's no clear evidence that he did.
Well, let's go into his reasons. What possible reason could he have to do that? To dox himself? Because that's a pretty. Why would someone dox themselves?
To become a victim? Because victimhood is power.
What stake does he have in being a victim in this situation?
He's Phil Fish. He wants to be a victim.
Attention?
He's a professional victim.
Did he do it just to white knight it?
Maybe.
Maybe he thinks he has a shot with Zoe Quinn?
I don't know whether
he's just disappointed that he wasn't in the initial quest that she had in the beginning to get better ratings or whatever.
I don't know if that's the case or not. I really don't. It's obvious that he agrees with Zoe Quinn about her being attacked and about because Phil is awfully down on people about who play video games in general.
Oh yeah.
And for being a game developer, that seems kind of weird to me, but...
Well, on that subject, after this whole mess has gotten out, he's put his IP Fez up for sale because he wants out.
Because he wants out, yeah. I know. But he's been out before and then got back in. So I don't have a very high opinion of Phil Fish myself, but I mean, did he do it to himself? I don't know. It seems like a stupid thing to do to yourself.
Just a bit.
You know? Because there are people on the internet who will do bad things to you if they know where you live. Or that, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of stuff that could go bad if other people have your address.
Well, to self-dox, I mean, okay, I'm not saying he didn't do it. Matter of fact, I believe he did it, to be entirely frank. I just don't think he thought it through very well, because if you're going to go on and defend Zoe Quinn, which is a controversial thing to do,
Hot button topic,
against 4chan, and then put your information out there so 4chan can then do whatever they want with your information, at the very least, you've already shown that you're opposed to it.
You can't give it to him for free.
It's a silly thing to do.
You just gotta make him work for it. Right?
So I feel like it was definitely a stupid idea, but I do think he did it. I think he did it to.
He keeps because everyone's willing to jump on the "we hate 4chan" train and ride to the end of the rail. I mean, everybody on the internet knows 4chan. They know that it's the hive of scum and villainy, so to speak. And they will ride the "we hate 4chan" train to the end of the rail. I mean, every time. And Phil knows that, so if he can get it blamed on them and do it himself, you know, and maybe there are people on 4chan. I don't know. Maybe because the people on /V are not nice to Phil Fish.
No.
And he goes back a long time arguing with those guys and not liking them. So maybe he did it just for that and the extra buzz for Zoe Quinn too. I don't know.
Who knows? Well, the fallout from all this has been, I'm just going to say violent. I mean, I'm not physically per se, but it's been just a very volatile reaction.
Yeah.
In general.
Definitely.
It's so volatile that Reddit and 4chan won't allow you to discuss it anymore.
Yeah, they block it.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Well, it's a hate circle jerk.
It is a hate circle jerk.
At some point in time, they have to stop the hate circle jerk.
Roby, what's a hate circle jerk?
Why don't you tell us what a hate circle jerk is?
A hate circle jerk is when you are drinking off the guy to your left and with your left hand and then punching the guy across from you. That's a hate circle jerk, and that's what's going on right here. And it's this shitstorm that is feeding into itself.
It's the least enjoyable circle jerk.
Yes. Yeah. So it's and it's this whole incident. I don't know. Do you think this is a positive thing? Raising this sort of awareness that female game developers face, or do you think this is just purely negative?
Will it be that? Is that what we're going to take out of it? Because a lot of spin on the internet is instead of males mistreating female developers, a lot of spin on the internet is how can the gaming journalism community do this to us? How can they be in bed with developers and all that kind of stuff? There's a lot of spin on the internet of that nature out of it. From the let's say, less liberal news outlets.
I see. So we're not actually getting the message that I think people wanted us to get in the first place.
Right. Well, because they'll spin it. Because everyone will spin it to their favor. You know? And they're like, look, you can't trust the gaming media. Look what happened here. This sort of thing happens all the time. So, and will it be spun that female game developers will do this? And that they're all sleeping then? Will that become the assumption? I don't know. Probably.
I hope not.
I hope not too. But
I think what's really been taken from this is that it hopefully in the end, not now, not for a while. What I want people to get out of this is that it was such a shit. It mattered so very little in the end that it's not worth talking about.
Right.
It's just not worth talking about. We're only talking about it now because it's relevant at this point, and not only is it relevant at this point, it's relevant to note that this kind of he said, she said, internet, because it's he said, she said on the internet.
On the internet, right. And the least believable of all places. It's he said, she said.
Is the worst kind of thing to give credence to.
Right.
And if nothing else, it's worth talking about now so we don't do it again in the future.
That's right.
But we will.
If it comes up again, yeah.
We could even, the whole violence thing, we could even transition that over to Sarkeesian.
Sarkeesian. Yeah.
And that whole crazy situation.
Yeah, she is forced to leave her house like this week sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Wednesday or Thursday? that
Wednesday
came
or
out?
Thursday, yeah, because of death threats, death and rape.
Yeah, like viable death threats, like people posting death threats with her address on it on the internet, stuff like that.
Which is not okay.
Not okay at all.
No.
I don't in any way support that sort of activity. Never.
No.
Never okay.
Well, first of all, like, this is, I mean, it's been said, and it's obvious. The irony here is obvious.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
The irony...
They're going to threaten her with violence for her posting a video about how men are violent against women.
Right. Like,
Yes.
if,
The irony is not lost, not me.
for those of you who don't know, Anita Sarkeesian, sorry, is, she's a feminist, and she claims to be a gamer, though I don't believe she's telling the truth about that. And but she is very outspoken. She's right now in the middle of doing a series about female tropes in video games.
Right, tropes versus women in video games.
Right.
Is her favorite, what she's doing right now.
And she's millions of views. It's a very
Really?
I don't want to say popular necessarily. It is popular, but
It's well,
you know, it's popular because it's so controversial.
Yeah.
right.
But
There are probably, for every video she releases, there are probably 15 videos released by dudes telling her that she's wrong about everything that she says.
right.
Which is, in reality, pretty ridiculous.
It's the internet, too.
Well, the fact of the matter is,
Yeah.
she is extremely educated.
Yep.
She's very smart, and
She's actually using the money she got from one of those Kickstarting things to do what she intended to do, which is something
even
you'll
though
never
it's
see.
yeah, it's true. Even though it's very slow, it's happening.
Yeah.
You know, but she's a businesswoman, and she's a damn good one. She knows what to do.
Granted.
The thing here is to take from this is that it's important to. I think everybody should watch her videos. I do. Everyone should watch her videos, regardless of how you feel.
She makes a lot of really good, very
She
valid
does.
points.
She makes a lot of
She
excellent
does.
points.
I enjoy her videos, I do.
So do I. A lot of her points are extremely well thought out, and a lot of decent research is done.
Yep.
The thing to remember though is that anytime you're going to watch anything on the internet, anywhere really, to go into it with an open mind. I don't say go in there and just take everything she says, as gospel.
Wrote on the internet. It's supposed to be real, right?
It's true. Nothing can be on the internet that's not true.
Because there's plenty of points I disagree with her on as well. But the fact of the matter is, I think her general premise, she's not wrong.
Right.
Her general premise is there are tropes against women, and they're generally negative.
Well, and especially the most recent thing she's been delving into with like women as background objects.
That's
It's
everywhere.
definitely
Yeah.
150% true.
So, I mean, but the gaming community as a whole is going through this growth spurt or growing pangs rather, where we're trying to grow as a community, including more women, even though females are a huge part of the gaming culture now. There's a lot of female gamers now, a ton. But the problem is that the male side isn't ready yet. Because the males who are now producing the games and developing the games were the kids like us who grew up where it wasn't even cool for guys to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Let alone females. So it's going through a lot of growing pains right now, and there's a lot of change that needs to be made, but it's not a fight that's going to be. It's not a fight that's going to be won overnight. It's going to be like I was saying earlier, to you, Roby. It's going to be something that's going to happen over time. It's going to be a war of attrition, so to speak.
Right.
Right.
And there's going to be a lot of incidents like this that are going to happen.
Yeah. And I think you have to frame it in that reference as a war of attrition. Because the haves don't give up what they got.
Right.
Because they got no reason to unless you take it from them.
Right.
And someone's going to have to be taken. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be violent, but it's got to be taken.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to give it up otherwise. Because why would they?
And this doesn't mean that we are not going to get the same sort of high-quality games that we're used to, or the same sort of, male-centric storylines. Those can still exist. It's not that those can't exist. It's just that you have to be more intelligent in how you present those stories.
Well, and there should be more female-centric storylines.
There should be, not only because that's a dangerous statement, because there should be. but not just because they're female. There should be because it can be immensely interesting and great.
Right. Well, if nothing else, at the very least, it provides you perspective into how the quote-unquote other side lives.
And thinks.
At the very least.
Yeah.
At the very least. And without understanding, how can you fight against something that you don't understand? I don't get it. How can you just hate without understanding? Predator doesn't count.
Predator does too count.
Yeah, how can you hate Predator without never watching it, Robbie?
Aliens counts to all the. You know what?
If I had to hear one more Predator quote or whatever, people talk about how
CIA
awesome
gets
Predator
pushed
is,
with
and it's
the
not awesome.
It is awesome.
I'm allowed to indulge my own hypocrisy. Fuck you.
But, it's just a painful, this whole thing is like, it's painful to watch, painful to read about.
It is. It really is. It's ridiculous.
Because so many people are just acting like, and you know what, I would love to believe that these people who are attacking Anita Sarkeesian, who are attacking Zoe Quinn, who are attacking just females in general, because, if you want an example of what happens here, but you don't want a high-profile one, just an everyday one, go to Twitch, go to any game, League of Legends, Hearthstone, find a woman who is streaming, and just watch the chat.
Just watch the chat.
God, yeah, man.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
dear Lord.
And then
So
and then come back and tell me that things don't need to change. Because that kind of shit's not okay.
No. But it happens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time. I don't know how they can do it. I really don't. They must ignore most of the chat line the entire time.
Well, I'll tell you how they do it. Money.
Money, right?
Because, this is absolutely true. It's unfortunate, and it's not true for every girl. There are a lot of women who are on there. The ones who are on there who are all about the game, focus on the game, that's what they do. They focus on the game. They realize that this is, they get donations, they get subscriptions, this is how they live, all right? And they focus on the game, and they don't worry about the rest. And then there's other girls who exist on there who will realize that guys are really lonely.
Yeah.
And take full advantage of that.
Whoever's the highest donator is my internet boyfriend.
This is a true thing. This is actually happening.
Yeah.
This is actually happening. So this is. I don't know. I'm not sure if this is a problem or not. I'm actually kind of for it, to be honest.
If they can make their money that's not any different than the strip club.
Exactly. I'm kind of for it. I'm for it because, it's whatever.
If these guys want to part with their money for a fake internet relationship for an hour,
yeah. Okay.
feel free. That's up to them.
Let's clarify
Both
fake
sides.
internet relationship. Okay, internet relationship is already fake. A fake internet relationship.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But if that's what they want to do, the people who are on Twitch, they're not like prostitutes. Okay, they're not none of them are caught. None of them are kidnapped or whatever and forced into this life. Okay, so if they want to sell their attractiveness on the internet for views and Twitch views or whatever, more money to them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I'm not going to do it, but if somebody else wants to support them that way, fine by me.
Right.
They're both willing participants. Let them do what they want to do.
It's not like they're swatting him.
Oh, God, swatting.
Swatting.
But jeez,
Kids, don't swat.
Okay,
Yeah, swatting
let's
is bad.
take out some time to talk about swatting and what this is. Swatting is something that has become popular with the advent of streaming. Now,
yes.
I'm not saying it didn't exist before. I'm sure it did, or at least something in the same vein. But with the streaming, gamers now streaming all of their gameplay and a lot of their gameplay on Twitch Live. A new, it makes me angry even thinking about it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
A new prank, air quotes,
Yes.
has become popular where a person will literally call the local police, they'll IP track whoever happens to be on the stream, figure out where they're living, what their address
Most times they
is.
use their real name on the stream.
Yeah.
And they have their picture.
Yep. And they can look up their
You can do a
information.
screen cap and do a reverse image search, find their Facebook. Once you find their Facebook, it's not that hard to find some personal information.
Right.
It's really not that hard.
It's not. The police are called, and they say, hey, this person who's streaming live at the time is they have a bomb, they're going to do something terrible, basically calling it a terrorist threat. The SWAT team, the local SWAT team, then arrives and arrests the person live on stream.
Live on stream for everyone on the internet to see.
Even if it's fake, they still have to do it because of protocol.
They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know if
this
this is
it's a legit thing.
They don't know if this call is fake. They don't know. So they have to treat it this way.
It's real. Right. And they show up, guns drawn, M16s at the ready.
Well, you
The
guys were telling
whole
me about
9
one
yards.
guy who the police just now call his house because it's happened so many times
Yeah.
during his stream.
He gets swatted so often that they call him first, and make sure that it's nothing's
You have
actually
to
going on.
equate this whole swatting thing with the same idiots that light themselves on fire and put that shit on YouTube.
Worse.
Worse.
It's worse.
Yeah,
They're worse.
It's that same idiotic mindset where there is no consequence thought on that. They're just like, oh, this would be funny.
Oh
Check it
yeah,
out.
yeah. It's the same
So
idiotic
stupid.
mindset, but at least when you catch yourself on fire and you die, here's your Darwin Award. Right.
Yeah. Just
But
waiting for it to happen.
You're playing with other people's lives.
Yeah. No, it's not cool.
Right.
Like
Not cool at all.
fully automatic weapons, and that gets lethal quickly.
Right.
In a hurry.
And accidents can happen, and that'll get tragic. And that'll get tragic in a real quick way.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that this is bad enough. Swatting is bad enough. However, people who are, I'm going to say, engaging in what I would call should not be a legal pastime, are now also being arrested. One particular streamer was swatted. I'm going to.
All right.
One particular streamer was swatted. Leading up to it, shut your mouth. Don't tell me how to stream.
Ooh, teaser.
Don't tell me
that.
A teaser. After this commercial,
Yeah.
we'll tell you what we're talking about.
You'll not know till then. But this one particular streamer was swatted. Police came in, found he had a bunch of marijuana. For his personal use. He wasn't selling it or anything. After
Right.
that.
The internet's been kind of slow this week.
It is this week.
I've been a lot busier at work too. So
No, it's been a bit slow this week.
the only rumor I can really remember from this week is that Joaquin Phoenix is nearing the end of talks to play Doctor Strange in the upcoming Doctor Strange movie.
Which I support.
I'm a fan of Joaquin Phoenix, and you know what? You know what did it for me? Her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
I didn't dislike him before that, but he didn't do anything. Hadn't done anything that I was like, oh, that was awesome.
Oh, I loved him in Gladiator.
He was a good bad guy in Gladiator.
He's
Don't get
good
me wrong,
signs.
but I was like, nah.
And it was
Gladiator.
also that's a little stupid.
He's not wrong about that.
I never said the movie was good. I just said he was good in signs.
I watched one M. Night Shyamalan movie, and I feel like I've already seen them all.
You have.
That's not true. I watched two of them. I also watched The
Why?
Village.
What? Yeah, no. That was...
Is that what
yeah.
it's called? Was that what it's
No,
called?
yeah, it was called The Village. Yeah.
And after that, I was like, okay, I feel like I don't need to see any more. No, also Unbroken. Didn't you
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable?
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable, yeah. I ended up
I
stealing
actually
that
kinda
movie from
dug
Blockbuster
Unbreakable.
Video years ago.
Nice.
Thief.
So I returned it was in the DVD player still, and I returned the case, and then I moved. Then I was like, whoops.
Thievery.
You have all kinds of stuff from Blockbuster and everything.
Unbreakable was great though.
I like Unbreakable.
I thought it could have been better, but I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, everything can be better. Yeah, everything would be better.
Something's got to be the pinnacle.
Challenge for all of you guys today: find something that can't be better.
Can't be better.
That's right.
Can't possibly be better.
Yeah.
Everything would be better.
So he's gonna play Doctor Strange, hopefully.
I'm a huge fan of this.
He was rumored to play Doctor Strange a while ago, and then nobody really heard anything else. But then somebody else started bringing up other names, started circling around, and everyone's like, no, calm down. It's gonna be Joaquin. We're in talks. We're finishing this shit up. Calm down. It's gonna be Joaquin. So
That sounds exciting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I think he could be a really good Doctor Strange. I really like that cast.
Yeah.
I do.
I
He
think
could be
it's
a
a
really
good
strong
story.
Doctor Strange.
Well, I think he's really shown because before
Strange is one of the
Gladiator,
Superheroes who's not like a teenager and or some sort of superhuman being.
right?
You know, he was like a middle-aged doctor who got mystical powers.
Became a total badass.
Yeah.
Like, hey, well, he was sort of the Deus Ex Machina for all the other comic books. Shit, we're in trouble. Get Doctor Strange.
Call Doctor Strange.
Call Doctor Strange.
Right.
The Winston Wolfe of Marvel.
Yeah.
What's the well,
Have you never seen Pulp Fiction 2? Is that another one of the ones that you just won't see?
No, I've seen Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
It was so begrudgingly given that okay.
Okay.
But
White always gives me begrudging
yeah,
acceptance.
begrudging
He's a
acceptance.
bastard like that.
Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any real news information. I don't really think that there is. I think we'll have to wait till PAX Prime comes out. I think that's the reason things are a little slow right now in the game world. Everybody's waiting for PAX to kind of
We'll get more information on the whole Facebook Oculus Rift thing too. We got to do more research on it. We're speculating a lot of stuff.
I honestly won't be surprised if we never see the Oculus Rift.
Which we
yeah, it'll never. I'm with you there. I think because here's the thing: when that thing was purchased, I was like, "Oh, this is a great acquisition for Facebook." And I'm like, "Really?" Seems like a dumb one to me.
Right. But I still know that they're really in the market to do it. I mean, they have a lot of money. And if they want to invest it in the Oculus Rift and get it going, maybe they could.
I'll tell you what a lot of money and inexperience does. It's a very, very expensive piece of shit.
Oh,
This is true.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's about it for this.
yeah, we
this
just
week.
mostly want to touch on the two big topics right now. It's
Yeah.
not like, since there's nothing real big in the gaming world. I mean, WildStar just dropped their, Sabotage patch?
That's been out for a couple weeks now.
Haven't-
We talked a little bit about it. I mean, I haven't really
Shows
done
you
much
how caught up I
PvP.
am.
It's mostly a PvP patch for
Yeah.
the most part. And I don't do a lot of PvP, so it's not really
I've actually been thinking about PvP
It's only my bag.
in that game. I'm
PvP is fun. Me and Sanchez did a lot of PvP back in the early days. Like when it had just come out, and we got to level 10. We're like, let's go PvP. Let's go do it.
We'll check for more MTG spoilers. Hopefully, we'll have something to talk about. On
Yeah, there should be more. There's probably more spoilers out now. I haven't looked in a
Haven't
while,
looked into
but
it. Yeah.
Real life is not always.
Yeah, it doesn't always cooperate.
it's not.
But
Well, let's face it, I had time. I just haven't taken it.
yeah. There should be some. If you're into fighting games, there should be some interesting Killer Instinct information coming out pretty soon as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have really new characters?
TJ Combo's
Combo, baby!
TJ Combo's been announced, confirmed. They've even shown him.
Nice.
Playable at a couple test locations. He's coming out. They've made some big changes to the system, which is pretty cool. But the next character that has been announced is Maya from Killer Instinct 2. But there's going to be, I think, a total of 8 for Season 2. She was the one with the daggers.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, who the Maya?
yeah, daggers. Far less sexist this time around, as well. I'll have to show you some images. Maybe I'll
She better than, what's her name?
Orchid?
Orchid, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think she was better than Orchid in the second one. But
Right.
in this one, Orchid plays a lot differently, more differently than Orchid did in the first one.
This is true.
But Maya's going to play way more differently than she did in the second one. So,
All right, that's
I mean, we'll have to see at this
Yeah,
point.
we'll have to see how it goes, but
But I'm
I'm
expecting to
excited
see.
for combo.
Well, we'll see probably Maya at PAX, is my guess.
Right.
And the next character will be announced. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be Cinder.
Cinder makes sense.
Cinder. Yeah. Cinder.
I liked Cinder too back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to like Glacius too, but I'm not good with him in the new one.
You want a funny anecdote?
Yes.
There's a lady who I was helping whose last name was Jago, and when I called her, I said it just like it was.
Jago.
May I speak with Miss Jago?
It's Jago.
She was like, "This is her." I I'm like,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, I apologize.
Instinct. Sorry.
Anyhow, so I think that's it. I think we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah.
We'll look for packs. We'll try to have some more information for you guys. Hit us up on Facebook or Twitter if you have a particular subject you'd like us to talk about and tackle. Today's Oculus talk was a direct request from David the D. Sanchez.
David the D.
Yeah.
The D.
So
Don't forget to go to RSG at YouTube and subscribe.
Yeah. We'll put a link to the Facebook on the YouTube or on the Facebook. Yeah.
Put a
A
link,
link to the
YouTube.
Facebook. Yeah. A link to the Facebook on YouTube and a link to the YouTube on Facebook.
There we go.
Wow.
That was difficult.
Talking is
Hopefully
hard.
less difficult to do than to say.
That'll be a massive circle jerk.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys,
Have a good night,
for
guys.
Come check out our channel here. Come check out our channel here.
Yes.
click here.
You just click back and forth through the links for hours.
Stopping.